our dreams, we enter completely our own world. You know, it's completely our own world. And we like to swim in the deepest waters and fly.
They had put a fart machine into my sleeping bag.
This hall echoes.
And Michael Gambon had actually been pressing it during the take, I found out.
Daniel.
Professor Lupin.
Pat, very good, very good. I'd say the red.
I tried to talk to my friends about, what did you do today? Oh yeah, I was chased by a werewolf.
Yeah.
So it feels like the only people you can talk to about this kind of surreal thing that's happening to you is you guys.
Yeah, I really remember filming The Devil's Snare. that was really fun because I did that stunt.
I remember that too. I was so jealous. I was so jealous. I assumed that if Rupert got strapped on a massive harness and let down from leaves and ceiling, I assumed I'd get to do it, and I didn't.
Whoa. I know, I was incredibly disappointed, and from that moment on, I didn't want to grudge against you.
It was quite fun. It was scary as well, because...
We were jumping from basically a scaffold up there.
Yeah, I was quite young as well, so I wasn't really used to falling like
flashing before your eyes.
Yeah. I was worried about wetting myself on the way down. That would have been quite embarrassing.
Moving swiftly on.
My favourite scene from the first film was the Petrificus Totalis. I had to fall flat straight down. And they brought in one of those old mats who used to use PE, and so I had to fall onto this. And I was doing it, I wasn't putting my arms out, I was falling back. But I don't know, some kind of reflex, my legs had bounced up, and it kept happening every time my legs bounced up. And so I think what they had to do in the end was, I fall, and I get to about there, and then it cuts, and the stunt guy takes over.
In the first film, I remember the hardest scene for me to do was the troll scene, because those stunts, climbing under those lockers, and every time I went under, bang, 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 all the way down. But no, it was...
Yeah, but it looked amazing.
While it was hard, it was great fun, and it was good to see at the end. It was one of those things that when I saw it, I was like, yeah, that's really good. It looks good.
That's the thing about filming on pod. I mean, it's the classic example was Buckbeak in the third film. It was this kind of mechanical ball thing, and I would just sit on it and sort of rock backwards and forwards in a faintly embarrassing at the time way. And then you see the film, and it looks brilliant.
Have you had much to do with the special effects in the film?
I tell you something that I really hate. Some of the ghosts, like Nearly Headless Nick.
Hello!
You're supposed to be talking to them, but they're not going to be there because they're going to be put in by computer, and you're talking to nothing. It's very weird. It's very hard.
We've had some crazy things fill in for whatever the creature's supposed to be. Sticks, tennis balls, numbers. It's different every time. So we have to be quite careful though, because sometimes, if someone's waving a broom at you that's meant to be a snake or something, it gets a bit absurd, and then you just start laughing and you can't really take it seriously.
One of the great things about casting young kids, or having young kids, is that they have a great imagination, and they may have been fighting battles, but it wasn't there in person. But they dealt with that with a plume. I mean, they never even questioned it.
Swoop, 1, 2, up!
Maybe that's because that's all they knew from growing up on these film sets.
Can you tell me how much each of you grew from the time filming started? How much taller are you now than the filming started?
Emma, have you any idea?
I have a very good idea, actually. I grew 3.5 inches, and that was not even at the end of the film, so I was really surprised. So that's pretty cool. I'm normally really short, but I've grown.
How tall are you now?
Pass. Have no idea.
People often ask me, you know, aren't you going to grow out of your character, or isn't Hermione going to grow out of you either way? But it's perfectly timed because it takes a year for the film to be filmed, and so it's going up in years, so it works. So I'm growing up with her, if you know what I mean.
I am taller than you, or I will make myself taller than you. Okay.
Why are you so determined to embarrass me?
I am not determined to embarrass you. I'm determined to be taller than you are.
Same thing.
In what ways have you changed?
The thing that's changed least is probably my height. I've probably gone from about, I don't know what I was in the first film, I've probably grown about a foot in 10 years, which is annoying, really.
I think I've changed quite a lot physically, because when I first started, I had a round face, and it was sort of right for the character, and then I sort of grew up a bit. I sort of lost a bit of weight, and so I had to wear a fat suit for a few years. So it's very odd to look back there and see me with this sort of chubby-faced little boy with a girl's voice.
It's only when you kind of look back on the early ones and you realise how much you've changed, because it is quite strange, yeah.
Do you mean change physically or changed as a person?
Everything, yeah, I think physically and in every way.
What was interesting to watch was before your very eyes, they're all getting a bit taller, all variously dealing with whatever, pimples and homework and all of that, and they were growing as young artists and young performers, and you could see them acquiring knowledge as they went.
Good performance, Ruth. Good one, Dan. And Emma, great performance.
When we heard Chris wasn't going to come back for the third, it was quite sad because we really got to know him. It was obviously the first director I'd ever worked with.
Don't go.
I must. It's quite scary to think who would be coming along to replace him.
Harry.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah, okay, shut up.
Yeah, no, Alfonso was great though. He was really sort of energetic and he was crazy. So we really liked him for that.
Go for it.
Yeah. Cool.
I got these actors in their turning point. They were turning 13. So they start getting conscious and aware of becoming actors. And they start taking their craft seriously.
We don't do it this way. I don't think that Rupert has much to play after being scared.
We started looking deeper into the characters really and got more involved in that kind of thing.
I asked them to write an essay about the backstories of each one of their characters.
We just did what our characters would do. Emma just came in with reams and reams of paper, just about 23 sheets in the end, and I came in with one side of A4, and Rupert did nothing.
And I said, Rupert, you're not taking this seriously. You have to deliver your essay. And I says, no, I'm taking this seriously, but Ron wouldn't deliver his essay. I said, okay, you nail it. That's your character.
You're going to see footprints leading to that rock.
We are? Why is that?
Because he walked to that rock.
What does that have to do with the scene that we've been doing?
By the third film, I was starting to feel relatively confident. But in those days, I was still so much finding my feet as an actress.
Okay, let's go back to that position, please, and let's do the exit. Ready, guys?
How have you changed as an actor?
I think I'm a lot more... I think I know I'm doing slightly more than when I did in the first film. Slightly.
What you did, that is better.
At the beginning, Daniel was so insecure. And he was so excited about working with Gary. And he was just observing him all the time. I think I'm doing everything wrong. Look at this guy. He says, hey, stop observing. Just be yourself. You know, see, like Gary, in a way, he's just concerned about how he's delivering and how he's listening to you.
But you're innocent. And you know it.
And that'll do. And I think that was the point in which Daniel started approaching acting in a different way.
That's very good. You know what it is? Because I was almost unconscious.
For me, it was a big step forward with him, because on 3 I went, okay, yeah, this is what I want to do. I want to be an actor. Like 3 was when I made that decision.
Ready and go, Tom?
Alfonso was no longer treating us like kids. He was very into the serious side of things, and I think it's definitely helped us all grow up as actors as well as people.
When you say, hey, you ugly brute, maybe turn back to your pals like... You know what I mean?
He's great with young people, and we have quite similar temperaments, I think. He really engaged with me, and I felt very lucky to have that. So that was an amazing experience. Mike Newell I loved because he was such a big personality. And you felt as if you'd known him for years, even though, of course, you know, we were working together for the first time. I remember he used to call me his darling all the time.
What that means, my darling girl, is that you're going to whack it out because they need it.
I will give it my all.
Mike really engaged them, and he understood that they had lived with their characters for longer than he had, and he encouraged them to bring that up.
Are you all clear about what you're doing?
Absolutely.
They concentrated. They challenged me when they needed to challenge me. They said, no, I don't think I'd do that, and which is completely fair.
It's a decent line. It's a line you can say, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll tell you what, we'll do two.
I think David was quite a shock for all of us after Alfonso and Mike, who were so loud.
Very good. One final one.
David is very much about everything being real and finding truth.
He's trying to be a decent boy.
Yeah. Can I just say one thing though? The
Yeah,
only
please do.
thing is that if Rupert comes up to Hermione and is like, genuinely, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm going to go easy on you, and Hermione blasts him to pieces, what sort of person does that make her?
Well, except his.
Horrible.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't want to do that. That would be terrible.
If
I love the fact that they're curious and ambitious, and that they challenge sometimes what they should be doing. And they're funny as well. They've all got a great sense of humour, actually. Rupert finds everything funny.
And action.
You just shut your mouth. I do. Just shut your mouth. Has anyone else got a problem with Harry?
My gran said it's a Daily Prophet that's rubbish.
Sorry.
Rupert is the worst for laughing. He does it all the time, and you'll ask him, what were you laughing at? And he goes, I don't know.
If you just look at him, he laughs. And he just laughs all the time. You can't stop him once he starts. And apparently he's done that since day one.
It's incredible, isn't it? It's brilliant. When you get really into something, he's hilarious. He's really, really funny.
It was just so much fun. It was just every day, it was just playtime, really.
The hormonal thing that started happening, it was great to use that energy, that rush of energy into the whole thing.
There was one time where in this room, actually, Michael Gambon and Alan Rickman, and I think Alfonso was kind of coordinating it, took the opportunity to play a practical joke on me.
Really, really funny.
And for you.
Yeah.
And
the whole of the Great Hall is sleeping.
It was very good because it was a bunch of sleeping bags, and Dan has us to have his sleeping bag next to this particular girl that he fancied.
Action!
For now, let them sleep.
we've just done a take, right? We've just finished a take, and it's taken ages to get it.
In our dreams, we enter completely our own world. You know, it's completely our own world, and we like to swim in the deepest waters and fly.
They had put a fart machine into my sleeping bag.
This hall echoes.
And Michael Gambon had actually been pressing it during the take, I found out.
Daniel. This is unbelievable. Emma Watson, on the phone, on set.
On the bed.
On the bed, with her shoes on.
Thank you.
I've watched children go through adolescence, and you would expect that she had been suffering from tremendous highs and lows, but nothing. It was just quite extraordinary. I don't know what it was about being in Harry Potter, but actually it was a great leveller for them all. They grew up, we watched them grow up, but we didn't feel them grow up. But I'm sure there were one or two little upsets.
How do you feel about the world watching you grow up through your awkward teenage years?
Yeah, that's kind of strange. I mean, that's very fortunate, because in the fourth film, I think it was, there was a scene from Draco where he gets turned into the ferret. And the original thing was there was a naked scene for Draco where, when he comes back, for me to run off naked through the woods with loads of extras there, and I was like, this is back in the day when I was even more of a pubescent child than I am now, so it wasn't one of my highlights. And very fortunately, before that they said, you know what, we're going to cut that because it could be a little racy for the younger audience.
Is that a threat? Is that a threat?
But to them I was like, really? I don't mind, I'll do it. in the back of my mind, I was like, thank God I haven't got to do that.
This is very, very embarrassing. Right, show me again.
We were at a period of kind of teenage angst with these people. It was a sort of chemical experiment with all of them every day.